Hey everyone, this is Body Creation Coaching with Cheryl, and that's me. And today I thought I would share a personal experience, a story, if you will, of how I am with my body and just something that happened recently that I'd like to just, share. And for everyone to see that I am definitely not an exception to this rule of the body and the way it speaks to you. So I want to give you a little bit of backstory. And a lot of you that have been on this channel for a while know I speak about like the body, its connection to the mental, emotional pieces. Louise Hay, her Heal Your Body, that whole thing. She talks about a lot of it when we feel sensations in certain areas, what it relates to in our life. And, I look at this too for me. Now, some of you might know, if not, like I said, I want to give you some backstory so you have a reference point for this. About 4 months ago, my mom passed away, and she left behind a very nice house. My father hasn't been around. My brother, who's 38, has been living in that house for about 10 years with her. And there's a friend of the family that's been there for maybe about 6 years. And after the house was after she passed, the house was passed on to my brother and I. All right, so it's deeded to my brother and myself. Now, she's been in that house for 41 years. Now, we know after just a few years, the amount of stuff we can accumulate. There is 41 years of stuff in this house. Now, after she passed, there is so much that needs to be done, from like the paperwork, the closing of accounts, some of you that have been through this know it's a lot to do. And I pretty much did most of that by myself. I had a little bit of help here and there from my cousin, and it's a lot, all right? My mom dies, that's a lot. More paperwork. Now there's 41 years of stuff in this house. My brother says he wants to buy me out of the house. So he's, I guess, working on that process. Whatever, that's fine. I haven't been wanting to deal with the house. That being said, let's go back a couple of months. Not as far as back as when my mom passed. She passed in May, but just a couple months ago. I woke up in the morning and my neck started to hurt. It was like this kind of kink in the neck, you feel like you slept funny or weird or whatever. Now, mind you, I get massages every month. I get chiropractic adjustments about twice a month, acupuncture, I stretch. I do my best to take care of my body. Okay, well, I had been doing all of this and nothing was changing the pain in my neck. So I started last week actually. I know that there was a mental and emotional piece to what was happening in my neck. The fact that stretching, adjustment helped a little bit, massaging didn't really do much, which was very surprising to me. What else was going on in my neck? What else was happening? So I decided, I need to start asking this question. If we don't ask the question or give ourselves space to just be with whatever's happening, then we're not going to be able to have a moment or opportunity to maybe become aware of what is happening. Now, the more we become in tune with our body, the more we begin creating with our bodies, the kind of quicker it happens, the quicker we'll just know. Right now, I feel like a lot of us are still in that learning process, myself included. And sometimes I just know, and there's sometimes I'm like, like with this particular thing with my neck, I was like, all right, what is this? What is it that I don't want to look at? Now, remember I mentioned in another video, Louise Hay and her book, all right? Great reference. Talks a lot about how different areas of the body mean certain things, like your hands mean you maybe have trouble handling something in your life. My neck, okay? So knowing what I know, I started looking at it last week. My friend Anne-Marie was massaging me. I said, yeah, get in there, just get into the neck. And I decided I really needed to take a look at what this was. This has been weeks. And there's still that, I would do this little thing and then there was still pain there. It's like, what is that? What is that? What is that? What is going on? What am I not looking at? What don't I want to look at? And then I was like, oh, I don't want to deal with my mom's house. I don't want to deal with all the stuff there. I just sort of want it to go away. I don't want to look at it. I have a lawyer who has been helping with the process, helping us sort of get this, going or whatever, if you will, and get it moving along. However, I realized that I was starting to hide behind him. And then I just was like, well, I don't want to deal with anything over there. I'll just wait till this particular thing is set up and then not deal with anything. And I'll just, deal with it later. And I realized that by doing that I wasn't helping myself. I wasn't helping my neck. I wasn't helping my body. I was avoiding the situation. Then my body was speaking to me in a really big way, being a pain in the neck. So I knew this. Some things had transpired with my mom's car at the house. My brother wasn't getting back in touch with me, blah, 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 blah. Again, the story, the drama, I'm going to save you from it. The point of it is I was off last week, one of the days, and I was like, do I go over there? Don't I go over there? Do I go over there? Don't I go over there? I wasn't necessarily asking my body. I was just sort of asking the universe. And I'm driving, and there's this one side road that if I took it, it would take me a lot closer to my mom's. And I was in this sort of flux. Well, there was a backup, and the traffic stopped. And it was as if the sky opened up, and here's the pathway. Yes, go over there. So I found out my brother had sold the car already, and again, that's the story, that's the piece. But the important part is, when I decided to make that decision, I decided to step into that energy and begin to manage, deal, handle, navigate, whatever words you'd like to use, deal with the stuff, and begin to look at it and begin to work with it, change it. So I went over there. I might have had my anger pants on for a little while, but that's okay. And then by the next morning, after I finally talked to my brother, but after the next morning, my neck pain was almost next to nothing. I tried to do that little move again. That pain that normally had been there for weeks was gone. It's like maybe every once in a while I might notice it, but hardly ever. Now what changed? Yeah, I got massage. I got massage before. I've been stretching it. I've got adjustments. Nothing was making it shift. Nothing was changing it. It wasn't until I decided to give the space and ask the question of what do I need to do here? What do I need to look at? And I knew. I just didn't want to deal with it. And I also knew that I was stepping into my mom. My mom had done a lot of that. She didn't want to deal with a lot of stuff. So she just was like, oh, I'm not going to deal with it. I'm just not going to deal with it. And I realized I was doing that at that moment. When I asked the question, then I decided, like, you know what, it's time to change this. I don't want this pain in my neck anymore. I want it to move. I want it to change. I desire something different. I went over there, and then I decided also that I would go over there a few days later and begin the process, if you will, of sorting the stuff. But it's not just stuff, it's the energy behind it. And when I went over there that morning on Sunday, I decided to just be space and just to let go and let go and let go and drop my walls and just be with my body, be in this energy. Now, how amazing is it that my body was speaking to me with my neck for weeks, and everything I was doing, nothing was changing it. Now, I also had this little foot thing going on too. And your feet, your lower legs, usually have a lot to do with moving forward in life, or maybe fear of the future possibly. And you know what? That little pain in my foot is pretty much gone too. Wow. Oh, crazy. So I would ask, so I went to share my story, but I would ask everybody to just take a look at that. Again, I'm not the exception here. And once I decided to give myself space, my body space, and ask questions and look at what it is that is really at the root cause, the source. It wasn't how I slept that night. It wasn't that I wasn't doing enough stretching or I wasn't taking care of my body. It wasn't that I was not listening to it. And it was like, hey, it was just a slow nag. Hey. And I was like, you know what? It's time. I like to listen to this. And sometimes our body screams at us. So I don't desire that. And I let it go for a while. I haven't had anything occur like that in my body for some time. And for that to happen and to just stay there was kind of like, wow, okay, yeah, I do this body creation coaching thing. I know what this is. I know this is about some mental, emotional link here. So let's give it space and look at it. So what is it that I can do to change it? Now I'm going to give you some tools here. First tool is, again, take a breath and sit with your body. Ask it, what is this? What is going on? What are you trying to say to me? I would ask, maybe even get the Louise Hay book. It might be a good reference to look at so that you can get a sense of what it's about. I've been doing this stuff for a while, so I know the neck a lot of times has to do with not desiring to look at something, or maybe not looking at something, not desiring to look at something in a different way, or that kind of thing. And if you look at the body, you can your hands have to do with handling situations, or your wrists also. Shouldering responsibilities, possibly holding on to stuff. So you can use just some little metaphors here. And also sometimes, that little book can help sort of be a catalyst to go, oh, okay, maybe it's this. However, you don't need that book. You can just sit in a space and just be like, what is this? And allow yourself a moment or two. Maybe drink a cup of coffee. Thank you. Take a breath, be with your body, and just see what pops up. Now, it might not pop up that moment. That's okay. But just give it a moment and see. Again, this was weeks for me, but I also didn't want to look at it. And then when you get what it is, then you need to ask, well, what will it take to change it? Sometimes it's just the acknowledgement of this is what this is. That's enough to begin to shift it. Sometimes it means, like, if you're having some issues, say, I don't know, with your arm, and you're having some control issues in your world going on, you might need to learn to let go of things a little bit more. Or become aware of letting go of things. Again, just becoming conscious and acknowledging these things is usually enough to begin just shifting the energy. Allowing those things that are stagnant or stuck to begin to move, because it is that which we are not looking at, or that piece that can begin to move because we're acknowledging it. Not in a sense of, oh God, this is a pain. Oh my God. Not that kind of acknowledgement. An acknowledgement of, oh, this is what this is. And it might not be exactly what you think. So try to get your head out of it. Remember, this is not about our heads. This is about our bodies. This is about creating space and creating with the body. So, well, we have that going on in the world right now. So really, for real, right? So your body's picking that up too as well, just FYI. So whatever that is, I wanted to share that experience, that story with you, and let you know that I'm here with you. I'm doing this as well. And I'm always working towards working with it my body a little better, and in different ways, and learning more and more. And it is phenomenal. My body, gosh, I am like so grateful how much it does teach me all the time. And remember, those things that are a little uncomfortable, those things that are like kind of poking at us or pushing us, those are our biggest teachers right now, our like biggest opportunity to learn something. And the body is here to be that teacher as well. So maybe the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is, start looking at that a little differently. Looking at your body in a sense that it is here to teach, it is here to assist and help you. Those pains, those little things, those things that we're feeling. Now remember, you do want to ask, is this mine? And I knew that was mine. I did ask, but I knew it was mine. Find that out first, because if it's not yours, you can just return it, like a headache or something like that. However, if it is, that's when we look at this in a piece and we begin to shift our reality in a completely different way. So that is it. Body Creation Coaching with Cheryl. I hope you guys are getting a lot out of these videos. Please like them, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and do those push notifications so that you can see what's coming out next. All right, everybody, that's it. See ya.